I'm so tired of this whole Hunter Biden laptop story as if anyone really cares. And then now, all the outrage for one small comment made by Zuck, the one and only. And it should surprise nobody. Did Snowden not warn you that the government's watching everything? We didn't care then. So now you find out that, oh, look, the government actually advised Facebook in the wink wink advise way, the same way they advised the owner of that hardware store that Hunter dropped the laptop off, that anybody that goes against the FBI, bad things tend to happen to them. Why are we surprised that the FBI did this? This is pretty much what they do.
No one is surprised. All we're saying is that now we have a confession and it's time to take action. So all of those recounts that they did, they need to be redone, this time with different people who are not trying to push the narrative that Biden actually won, because we can see by his approval ratings that he didn't win anything. And set things right, because you can't have the FBI strong arming companies into swinging elections with their lies. They're telling him, oh, it's disinformation that there's this laptop and it's totally fake and whatever, and then it turns out that it's there and it's totally true and it would have helped the better candidate to win. And now we're stuck with this Alzheimer's patient who's creating inflation and wars and high prices with energy and forget prices, right? Like just availability. Just once I'd like to go to the grocery store and see some sprouts. You know how long it's been since I've had sprouts?
Listen, do not blame Biden for that. Or the whole fire that caught on and now our infrastructure is falling apart. If we had actually started fixing the infrastructure as opposed to trying to build a wall, maybe we wouldn't have half of these problems right now. But instead, you know what? Let me not even complain to that end. If they silence the information, and as a result, oh, people might have, woulda, shoulda, coulda. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that does mean that Biden got all these voters. They didn't have the information that might have changed their minds. So if you actually believe that, oh, these bullshit Dominion servers were hacked and it was a fully rigged and stolen election, then why are you worried? The Hunter Biden laptop wouldn't have changed anything because the machines were hacked, right? It was faked, right? They would have just had to change the numbers a little bit more. So this shouldn't upset you or change anybody's mind. This wouldn't have changed anything. Now, if you want to be upset that the FBI is even able to do this, not just to Biden or to Trump or to anybody. We should be upset that the FBI can come in and tell you, for whatever reason, hey, do you have any information that would prove that Alfred is an innocent person? Oh, we're going to need you to bury that. That's the thing that we all need to be targeting, but instead we're targeting an election that's done and over with. They're not going to undo it.
Yeah, but we do have issues with what the FBI has done and is doing, and other agencies like ATF and CIA and NSA and everybody else. It's all the same. It's the government alphabet soup, and none of them are working in the best interests of the American people. But look who's trying to build that wall now, Biden. So yeah, that's the whole situation. We can't have that. And then you were trying to say that because they use the Dominion machines, that because of that reason we can't focus too much on the disinformation of the laptop because it wouldn't have made a difference. But that's not true, because they don't have the Dominion machines everywhere, right? There's the mail-in ballots where you saw all of those mules grabbing as many blank ballots as they can, and real ballots, and changing them and filling out the blank ones with dead names and delivering it places so that people can toss it in the mailboxes and have them counted. And then you had the in-person voting. The in-person voting, those people probably were going to vote, or would have voted for Trump had they been able to get the truth about the laptop, but it was withheld from them, and That goes against everything that this country stands for. You're supposed to have the information to be able to make uh, a good decision when it comes time for your vote.
When Russia was doing that disinformation campaign during the 2016 election, that influenced it, suppressing the laptop. It wasn't a bad call. No one knew that it wasn't disinformation at the time. You can't be too sure. So to play on the safe side is fine. So I just think if we're not focused on actually saying, you know what, we need the FBI to not be able to do, to force companies to do anything they don't want to do. If that's not the only message you're saying, then you're off point. And at the end of the day, you just need to give it up. He is, no matter what you do today, tomorrow, yesterday, Biden's still your president.
I mean, I'll take that. I don't mind saying that it's a bad thing for the FBI. What I'm saying though is that if they weren't sure whether it was or wasn't disinformation, then why did they even take action at all?
Because they'd rather stop the disinformation and maybe catch some actual information rather than let that incorrect information out to the public. We
Okay.
saw what happened in 2016.
All right, whatever. Let's just burn some books while we're at it.